Green Bay Packers podcast, week 7, coming off the bye to play the struggling Denver Broncos, the team who is having a fire sale, choosing to cut expensive veterans instead of play them because they want to see if their young guys are even good. They gave up on the season a month into it, and the Packers are 1.5-point favorites. So I think that should put into perspective, Packer fans, where Green Bay sits this year. But week 7, 1.5-point favorites on the road, 45-point over under. And we are here to preview the game for you, give you an injury report, do all of that. This is Lombardi Sweep. Flurry Sports is Green Bay Packers podcast for those who are new. Luke Reimer on the right, Trevor Land in the middle. I am Zach Bruner. And it also should be said, and I feel like this happened the last several years now, the Packers come off a bye to play a team who is coming off extra rest as well. Don't like it.
Not at all.
Broncos played last Thursday, so they have extra 3-4 days, whatever. Yeah, and the Packers go on the road. I don't like it.
So we had a bye, and really we had only 3 more days rest on the team that we're playing.
Right.
Good.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. It really doesn't make sense whatsoever. It's kind of like, the Bills getting sent over to London on short notice just to see if it's going to give a team a competitive advantage, which is what Roger Goodell said. Turns out it does. Okay. Like, cool. Bills fans got to be like, what the fuck, dude? Our player died. Like, give us a break. But then they trotted out that ambulance and
crazy.
Feels like they just
always forgiven.
Yeah. They deserve it. Yeah. So week 7. Here we are. How does everybody feel? Let's do a little check-in. Mental health. 2 and 3. Mental health. Where are you at? Where do you think the Packers finish rest of the way? Because I don't even give a fuck about where they are right now. I want to know, Trevor, how many wins do the Packers have at the end of the season, given what you've seen so far?
Well, how many do they have right now, right? They got 2?
A deuce.
Okay, so let's pull up their schedule. Broncos, probably a loss. Vikings should probably be a win.
Correct.
Rams lost. Steelers lost. Chargers lost. Lions and Chiefs lost. Giants probably win.
Yep.
Buccaneers lost. Panthers probably win.
Right.
Vikings lost. Bears win. So probably 6 or 7.
Right. I'm going with 7 out of that. Sorry, I kind of stepped on your toes there, Trevor.
A little bit. I liked it though. I didn't follow anything you said. I think I said 6 wins when we gave our prediction before. I'll go 5. I'll say we can go under that, what I said originally.
No, I think
so. Let's remember this team was projected for 8 or 9 wins.
Mm-hmm.
And people were like, over. Like this, have you seen Jordan Love? Over. And now it's like, okay. Mental health check-in. How's everyone doing? We got Josh in our YouTube chat saying over under 1.5 Joe Barry's. Let's play Preston Smith to cover Jerry Jeudy. And I think that's where a lot of Packer fans are. And I want us to refocus. Who's in charge? And who is played or coached poorly? We need to stop blaming Joe Barry for everything. And this is the person...
Yep.
I hate Joe Barry. He should never have had another job after his job with the Detroit Lions. And then he got another coordinator job for 2 years, got fired. I said he'd have 2 years in Green Bay and get fired. He's on his 3rd year. I hate him. This isn't his fault whatsoever. He's been fine.
Defense has been playing fine.
Yeah. Yeah. And despite the injuries.
Yeah. They were 11th in yards given up, I guess, before the last week. And they've given up 30 points once. And like I totally with it. I totally understand blaming Joe Barry. But really, there's nothing to blame Joe Barry for right now.
He is not innocent, but he's not the biggest issue.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty boy eyebrows pumping up the crowd. Like, the only thing I want from this game is for Sean Payton to beat the shit out of Matt LaFleur. That's all I'm hoping for. Because Sean Payton hates him. What about Sean Payton?
Oh, yeah. For sure.
I mean, yeah, but no, I disagree.
He's a poser.
I don't think he's a poser. Like, I think he's outwardly racist and an asshole, and everyone knows it.
Poser.
I don't know about that. But yeah, we'll see.
Fuck that guy.
I think he's gonna be fun. I don't like how he feels the need to be in control of the entire roster, and that he is sort of refusing to coach until he gets the players he wants, which is what it seems like it's going to happen. But I think the Broncos are going to commit to Sean Payton. He's going to build a good team. That's what I think. But we'll see. Sticks really quick. Should I trade CD, Lamb, and Montgomery for Keenan Allen and DeAndre Swift? Yeah, dude.
Yeah, do it.
Okay. Packers injury report. Talking Wednesday. We are recording this Wednesday night. Quay Walker came back to practice today. It looks like he is going to play. All of these players were limited today. We're talking Zane Anderson, thank God. Elton Jenkins, Aaron Jones, Darnell Savage, Eric Stokes limited, listed with a foot injury. Quay Walker and Devontae Wyatt. There's a chance Eric Stokes comes back this week. I don't think that's necessarily an upgrade. What do you guys think the Packers do with Eric Stokes? Legitimately.
Like, they don't need to rush him back.
No.
Like, he's coming right? Eric Stokes was drafted, right, because he was the fastest guy in the world. He's the fastest guy in Georgia, yada, yada. He's coming off an ankle injury. You have to imagine that his speed is probably somewhat going to be affected. Let's take some time here and let's get him. It's going to take a long time to develop skills, but let's work him to where he doesn't necessarily have to rely on his speed, and we don't necessarily need to bring him back until we need to bring him back. That's what I think they should do with him.
Yeah, Trevor?
Yeah, he's all speed, and I mean, he just hasn't shown anything great, like in his whole tenure, at least in my opinion. And you want him to come back a little hobbled when he's not 100%? I don't see a point. To your point, the defense has been fine, not great, but fine. I don't see why you put him in and possibly screw that up. I think the guys you got on the field right now are capable, to say the least. And I don't know for sure if Stokes on a bum ankle is. I really don't.
I'm going to give Joe Barry the benefit of the doubt. I think he's going to do the correct thing. Like, I think the Packers are going to make Stokes the cornerback 4. Like, I don't see them going back to the way things were, where they put Rasul Douglas in the slot. I don't think that makes much sense to me. He wasn't a good slot anyways. Like, he's a natural outside player. And I think Keyshawn Nixon's played well enough to stay there in the slot.
Yeah, agreed.
I don't think it's going to be cut and dry, though. I'm going to guess they rotate Stokes in fairly regularly. Right now, Rasul Douglas is playing every snap, defense and special teams. And I think it makes sense to give him a breather at times. So that's what I'm guessing happens until the inevitable Darnell Savage injury. He comes out of the game. They put Rasul at safety or something,
Yeah. I don't think there's anything to. Are they looking for a reason to put Keyshawn Nixon back at punt returner with bringing Eric Stokes back?
I mean, I don't know why that would impact him being at punt returner. And if it does, I guess work on your conditioning. I don't know.
Yeah.
Unless they feel he's too valuable to lose. I don't know. They didn't pay him to play corner, though.
Right.
And if they did, then they made a bad investment. Because he's a good kick returner. That's what they should have paid him for. But yeah, I don't know. The only player who did not practice today, Devondre Campbell, looking like he will miss another game. So that would mean Quay Walker, who came back today, probably starting inside along with Isaiah McDuffie. Expect a lot of downhill running from the Broncos with Javonte Williams and even some McLaughlin mixed in there, but a lot of Quinn Miners coming up to second level and probably punishing those guys. So that's what Joe Barry's defense is staring at this week, I would say. For whatever it's worth, Broncos injuries. Looks like Baron Browning and Lloyd Cushenberry were full participants, as was DJ Jones. Justin Simmons limited, but I expect him to play. Greg Dulcich, they welcomed back at tight end last week. He did not practice today with a hamstring injury. He's probably going to miss this week. So, I mean, Packers aren't the greatest at covering tight ends, so it's nice that they would have to cover, Adam Troutman and not Greg Dulcich.
Correct.
Yeah. But otherwise, I don't think the Packers match up poorly against the Broncos. My only worry, and I hate to say it because I don't really like him, I'm a little worried about Jerry Jeudy this week. Not going to lie. I think they can. I think the Broncos can scheme him on Rasul Douglas, and I think he'll run right by Rasul Douglas.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure Broncos are smart. They start this game off. If they start with the ball, they start this game off with a double move out and up on Rasul Douglas for a 75-yard touchdown. And I think there's a very good chance that can happen. Zach, I'm with you. I'm a little bit worried about Jerry Jeudy too. He hasn't played the greatest in his career. Whoever Jair Alexander's on, fine, whatever, that's fine. But you're totally right. The second corner is going to be a problem because you're going to see Jerry Jeudy, who can either, like I said before, double move Rasul Douglas or Cortland Sutton, who can just out-muscle who's ever playing on the corner. So I'm with you on that. Of course, it wouldn't be a show about Russell Wilson if I didn't talk a little shit about him. But historically, Green Bay has played very well against Russell Wilson, right? But a lot of that had to do at Lambeau Field. These are two very different teams from what we saw last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. I think Denver has to probably rely on Russell Wilson to win this game, and I think that's going to have to be extending plays like what he's kind of made a career out of. So should this be a Rashawn Gary game? Probably, right? If Rashawn Gary can get in there early, Russell Wilson. So I don't know. So yes, Jerry Jeudy can beat you. I think Green Bay beats him with Joe Barry's patent in. Just get after the goddamn quarterback and make him uncomfortable. So I'm kind of on a little bit of both there, if that makes sense.
I think there's a chance. Rashawn Gary, I would assume he's mostly McGlinchey at right tackle.
Yeah.
I think McGlinchey can handle a bull rush. He's more of a run blocker, but I think he can handle a bull rush, which is all Rashawn Gary has. So we'll see. It should be a good game by him. I don't know. I have no idea.
And we talk about him every single week, though, and nobody else does. But it feels like it could be a great game out of Kingsley and Barre, too, coming from the other side.
Yeah, love him. I think he gets mixed in a little bit. I assume we'll see a little bit more Lucas Van Ness going forward after the bye week.
Hope so.
I don't think we'll see a ton more. I don't think he plays a ton this year, but I think there's a chance there. I think this needs to be a big Devontae Wyatt game. I think he can pick on Ben Powers a little bit. He's, 5 times as fast as Ben Powers. He should be able to run right by him. We shall see. We know the Broncos are going to run the ball. I imagine we see a lot of who's their fullback. I imagine we see a lot of fullback Michael Burton in this game. I think they're just going to run the fucking football to start this game. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
The thing is, even if the Packers defense does do a good job, that might not be good enough. The Packers have scored more than 20 points once this season, and we haven't exactly played any sterling defenses. The Broncos have done it 1, 2, 3 times, and that includes a performance against the Jets when they did it, which much better defense than any defense we've played. The Packers need to score 20 points to win this game probably, and they have not shown a consistent ability to do that. I think that's also a huge problem. Even if the defense is great, they got to force a crazy amount of turnovers or dominate the field position battle.
I think the Broncos offense is good. I'm not, if I'm projecting how good or bad that team is, I'm not worried about that. I just don't trust their defense. I think last week's performance from that Broncos defense says more about the Chiefs offense than anything. They've just been historically bad this year. Their linebackers a little bit more healthy now with Jewel coming back, but their edge rushers are nothing, dude. I'm not scared of Nick Bonito in the slightest. Yeah, I don't know. And their corners outside of Surtain, who's possibly the best in football, They suck. They're really not that good. So, however, if there's a week for the Broncos defense to play well, it's the week that they can play man defense and win their battles. So the Packers need to beat man coverage, because if they can't, then they're going to make this Broncos defense look really good. And that would be really disappointing. We saw what happened last week when the Chiefs receivers couldn't beat man defense. It made Mahomes look bad. It made them look confused. So Packers need to beat man coverage. They need to use Luke Musgrave up the seam, which will be open all game long.
Every single play.
Yeah, just do that. Even if you don't throw it, you have to have that threat to space out something. And I imagine Aaron Jones gets possibly the first 3 touches of this game. Like, I think they should be looking to get him in the game immediately. I think he's going to be, I don't think he'll be on a pitch count. Does that mean he gets used a lot? I mean, that's up to pretty boy eyebrows, but I think it's a healthy Aaron Jones going forward, which is great, because I think we all agree he's the best player on this team.
Yep. Yeah. I'm with it. In the three previous games, Packers have scored, like I've said before, have scored 3 points in the first half in those 3 games. Like, right there is a problem, right? You got to start off fast on the road, coming off a bye. That's gonna, if you can get up early on Denver. I think Denver struggles to come to play from behind. I think you're playing well. LaFleur continues to make the comment that we need to do more to put Jordan Love in the position for him to succeed. Well, yes, that's true. At some point, we need Jordan Love to succeed on his own and stop putting coaches in his mind and not coaching anything else other than Jordan Love. I don't know if that's going to happen, but this against a team like Denver, like, this game does not matter at all. Both these teams aren't going to make the playoffs. This has no implication on anything. Let Jordan Love loose a little bit here. I don't want to say let him call his own plays, but give him an opportunity to play without you holding his hand. That's what I'm really looking forward to in this game.
Yeah. I mean, we have to play on their side of the line of scrimmage. We need to stop having our most successful plays being passes behind the line of scrimmage, but being run plays, being stuff like that. Like, we have to go towards the end zone. We can't just stop. We can't do this bullshit. Like, this is what losers do. This is a loser offense. We can't be doing that. It goes back to the soft bullshit stuff with everybody in leadership positions on this team. We need to be going at the opponent. We need to set the tone. We need to hit them. We need to not take the hits, which is what's been going on for 6 weeks now.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Go at them. Broncos offensive line, they can run block. They can't pass block. We've seen Russell Wilson when there's any sign of pressure. All he does is take the sack.
Yep.
He dances around and then takes the sack. Bring fucking blitzes. You need to do that. Live on their side of the line of scrimmage, both sides of the ball, all game long. And you can, because this Broncos team isn't very good.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't seen a Packers team in a long time, probably ever, that has shot themselves in the foot more than this Packer team, whether it be penalties or horribly drawn up plays that we should not still be running, like that goddamn triple option we've ran 4 times too many. It's just insane. Like, how do you expect any offense to be good when you find yourself in 2nd and 13 and 13 and 12 or 3rd and 12, like 95% of your drives?
Trevor, I agree. And a lot of that, people are just marking, they're just a young team. They don't know how to play. Of course you know what a fucking holding call is in the NFL. You know what illegal man downfield is. Like, it's just stupid bullshit that these coaches, like LaFleur said before, I guess we have to teach our team better of what the rules are. How is that even a thing that comes out of your coach's mouth?
Yeah, I don't know.
If they don't know how to play football by the rules, they shouldn't be on your team.
Right.
And by the way, penalties like that go back to playing slow and playing soft. Yeah. If you're going at the opponent and hitting them, you're not getting called for a hold. Right. It's when you're trying to position yourself and play finesse bullshit football. That's when you get a hold. Hit these guys. Like, you got Josh Myers as your center. The only reason to have him play center is to use his athleticism and hit people. Do that. You got John Runyon. Have him hit people. Elton Jenkins, that's his best specialty. I understand Zach Tom shouldn't be a tackle. I understand Rasheed Walker shouldn't be a starting tackle. Then let's play between the guards. Let's go straight ahead and let's hit people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
So, I don't know. We just don't have that in us. Okay. Matt says he thinks Jerry Jeudy gets traded. No way he stays in Denver. I know they're listening to trades. I just don't think they are willing to part with nothing for him, and I don't think teams want him. I also think if Russell keeps flopping, we're going to see the Broncos tank, go for Williams. Can't really back out a hefty price. Yeah, I think that's Sean Payton's plan.
Yeah, he's just tanking right now.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. He's openly tanking. Like I wouldn't be surprised if this team gets a hefty fine, or I don't know if they would do a draft pick penalty, but
he's doing what everyone thought the Cardinals were going to do.
I know. And the Cardinals, people are still, the Cardinals are trash. They're playing fine.
You're right.
As much as I love to shit on them, they're playing okay.
Relative to what everyone thought they were going to be, they might be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it Peter or Pater? Pater.
Pater.
What do the Packers need in order to be a playoff team again next year? Is it even possible?
They need talent.
They do. The way they've built this team is just confusing. Like, we're not building for the future, and we're not going all in right now. We have money left over right now, and we're not extending people and front loading their salaries. That's what we need to do. Like, if we're going to get better in the future. So what do we need? We need a hit on draft picks and stop drafting developmental players that we can't develop.
It's going to be really easy to say, but like, we need a superstar like that. Of course, that makes sense, but we need someone who is a difference maker, either on the offensive side of the ball, whether that be a quarterback or a running back, or I guess they don't really throw to receivers, or a receiver, or like a Micah Parsons type on the defensive line who just destroys plays before they even start. Like, that to me is the number one need, and I know it's very hard to find that. I know that's a stupid thing to say, but honestly, that's what it is.
We need 2 offensive tackles too.
Yeah.
I think we need a leader. I don't give a shit what you think about Matt LaFleur and his offensive scheme or whatever. He's not a leader of a football team. I don't tell me whatever his record is. I don't give a shit. Like any coach that says it's awkward to coach against his friends when he comes from one of the largest coaching trees in the NFL shouldn't be a head coach in the NFL. We have a leader of men, in my opinion, in Bisaccia at the special teams. You need somebody like that, not somebody who's just a speaking head that repeats the same 3 phrases over and over again when he pulled a string out of his back. You need a leader, and he's not it.
The Packers also need to finally be active at the trade deadline by trading away some of these people who are on expiring contracts. And the biggest of which, get rid of Rashawn Gary. You have to get rid of him. You have to. Like, you're not going to pay him. They will, but you shouldn't pay him because he's going to ask for more money than he deserves. You can trade him because he's on an expiring contract. There's going to be teams wanting edge rushers, at this time. And like, you can get draft picks. Like, this is the perfect guy to do that. And you're getting him out the door so you can put Lucas Van Ness in the game more and develop these younger guys. Like, it's a win-win-win every situation. There is zero reason to keep Rashawn Gary around. So if they could trade him, and I think you could get a 2nd or 3rd round pick for him, possibly for a team who's really looking to contend, like, that would be huge. That would be huge. I don't think anyone's going to trade for AJ Dillon, but if you could do that, Keyshawn Nixon, maybe there's somebody who wants a returner. Maybe do that. The Packers don't have very many players that are good to trade, but Darnell Savage. Maybe somebody bites on Nishman. Some of these teams are really hurting at tackle. Like, there's a lot of bad offensive lines in the NFL. So, again, I don't think he's good, but there's a chance of that. But yeah, Packers need to make moves. They need to plan.
No, exactly.
They need to stop treading water. That's it.
They have a very good opportunity to plan for the future and be good in 5 years, as opposed to not planning for the future and being bad for the next 7 years. You're completely right about that.
Well, we keep forgetting they kept pushing money down the road this year.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they cleared up roster or salary cap for this year, and then they didn't use it. What are we doing? Like, it just proves that there's a lack of focus. There's contradicting opinions. There's something going on in that front office. Obviously, no owner. We can't make a decision. There's no someone to drop the hammer on anything. But like, if we're going to clear all this roster salary cap, We keep pushing David Bakhtiari's money down the road, doing all that. Bakhtiari's not on this team next year. I think that's pretty obvious, right? We're going to cut him and eat what? Like, I'll look at the exact number, probably like $20 million of dead cap.
I think it's 29 or 23 or 29.
Like, of course. And we're all shitting on him. Like, we kept moving his money back for no reason. We didn't use his money last year either. It just really, it's unbelievable. It really does not make much sense whatsoever.
I mean, it's the same shit every year. We talk about it every year.
And we keep talking about the genius that is Russ Ball. And maybe he can make contracts work. I don't know. That's fine. But in terms of managing the salary cap, it's not just him. Obviously, it's Gutekunst as well. $19 million dead cap for Bakhtiari next year. $40 million if he stays on the roster. What do you think is going to happen? So we're going to cut him. We're going to clear money, probably not use it again. But right now we have money left over. We have money. We can front load some contracts right now. If we're not contending this year, and that's the biggest issue, the Packers aren't willing to admit that ever. We're not willing to, we're going all in every year. We're not making moves to do so, but we keep putting this fluff piece out there, talking the marketing, doing all this bullshit, saying the Packers are going all in. It's not a rebuild, it's a reload. Jordan Love might be the guy. Let's watch all these highlights. Let's not watch anything else. And then we suck. And we had a chance to, sacrifice now to get better tomorrow. And that's what we got to do. Mm-hmm. We can't just keep treading water.
We've been talking, Luke and I talked about it way back, and Zach, you put it out there too, when we traded Devontae Adams. And I'm going to keep bringing it up because what was this, a year and a half ago already? If you try to play in the middle in the NFL, you will lose, and that is what loser franchises do. You either contend or you rebuild. You don't play in the middle ground. That's how you die.
The issue right now is that the Packers have done things a certain way for a long time. And they got away with it because Aaron Rodgers was the quarterback, because Brett Favre was the quarterback. Less so Brett Favre, less so that era. But like Aaron Rodgers, this team didn't make the moves to win in the Aaron Rodgers era for the most part. And they kept doing the decisions that we see now. It's just Aaron Rodgers found a way to win more games than he should have. And we won 9-10 games. And that's it. That's why the Packers had such a good record. That's why they're viewed the way they are. People shit talk Aaron Rodgers because he didn't win the Super Bowls he needed to, even though the team was never even close to good enough, et cetera, et cetera. At some point, we got to clean the front office. We can't just keep hiring the people who have worked their way up under loser leaders like Ted Thompson. Sorry about it. Like Brian Gutekunst keeps fucking putting out like an homage to Ted Thompson every year, lighting candles in front of him saying, I'm going to draft this piece of shit player because that's what Ted would do. Like, and he gives all these speeches. Like, it's so dumb. Clean the front office, bring Elliott Wolf back. Let's right the wrong that we made years ago. And let's try to make this team slightly better tomorrow. That's it.
I would give anything for in 2025 when Green Bay hosts a draft for our new GM and new coach we draft and our new franchise quarterback. I would give anything for that.
It's looking that way. It's looking that way. I would be more willing to bet it's a new quarterback, it's a new coach than a new general manager. I think it's still going to be good. Which, suggests did we even make any moves then, But we'll see. Anything else? Oh, we got to give a prediction, hey?
Yeah, 17-14 Green Bay. What do we have a line?
Yeah, Packers are favored by 1.5 and over under 45.
I'm going
17-10 Packers.
I'm going 27-18 Denver.
I'll go 23-20 Denver. I think it's close. It's not going to be a fun game to watch.
No. I mean, if the Packers lose, the calls really start ringing true for somebody's head, right? They have to. You lose to Broncos.
They will, but I still think people will blame Joe Barry more than anybody else. I think he's going to be the scapegoat this year. I think they fire him, and I think LaFleur stays on.
Yep.
That's fair.
Which, again, is that really making a change? I don't think so, but maybe I'm wrong. Who knows?
What do we think scores for the Packers in this game?
Who
I
do
think
we
Aaron
take?
Jones gets in the end zone.
Yeah, I could see Jones.
Trevor, you think Dobbs?
Yeah, Dobbs and Jones.
Okay, I'm with it.
I'll go Jones and Christian Watson.
I'm gonna go with Trevor, Dobbs and Jones.
I wonder how much Dobbs is on Surtain or vice versa.
That's probably where Surtain should be.
Right. I think whoever gets on Surtain is probably going to get shut down.
Yeah, agreed.
We'll see, who that is. But this was Lombardi Sweep, a very feel-good, positive hour if you are a Green Bay Packers fan. We will be back next week, live Wednesday evenings if you're listening to this after the fact. And we will be talking about that Green Bay Packers result.
Win.
Tie.
Tie would be lit.
No. If we have a tie, either I'm not going to show up next week or it's going to be the most mad you've ever seen me.
Cancel the season.
Not just any tie. A tie where both teams kick a field goal in overtime and don't score again.
It's like 6-6.
23-23 tie.
16-16. That'd be great.
And Anders Carlson misses his first kick as time expires.
Shout out Anders Carlson, man.
He's been good.
Yeah, he has so far.
I'm so pissed. Daniel Carlson missed those 252-yarders for our market league.
Yeah. Okay, we'll be back next week.